Have you ever looked in the mirror recently and noticed those deeper lines forming around your eyes, or that tension sitting permanently in your shoulders? Society tells you it's just aging. They tell you to buy anti-aging creams, to slow down, to accept that you are getting older. But I am here to tell you a truth that nobody else dares to say. Those wrinkles, that stiffness in your joints when you wake up, they aren't just the physical markers of time. They are the physical map of a silent, psychological burden you've been carrying since you were a child. If you were born between 1965 and 1972, you are part of the older Generation X. They call you the forgotten generation. You've spent your entire life silently fixing everyone else's problems, figuring things out on your own, and never asking for help. But right now, there is an invisible psychological shift happening inside you, a silent slayer of your peace of mind. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose the deep, hidden psychology of why you think so fundamentally differently from the generations before and after you. I will show you why your cynicism is actually a survival mechanism. And most importantly, I will reveal the one plot twist about your generation that will change how you live the rest of your life. Don't click away, because the secret to your psychological freedom is hidden in the very childhood you survived. Part 1, the Latchkey legacy, validating the pain. To understand why you think the way you do today, we have to travel back to an empty house in the 1970s. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You were the original Latchkey kids, while the baby boomers were raised in the post-war economic boom with a sense of boundless idealism. You were born into a world of cultural transition. Divorce rates skyrocketed. Dual-income households became the norm. You came home from school, unlocked the front door yourself, made a TV dinner, and sat alone until the streetlights came on. Psychologically, this did something profound to your brain. You learned early on that the only person you could truly rely on was yourself. You didn't have helicopter parents. You had the ultimate unfiltered freedom. But that freedom came with a heavy price. The silent expectation that you must be hyper-independent. This is the psychological root of your pragmatic, sometimes cynical worldview. You look at the world today, the polished marketing, the institutional promises, and you roll your eyes. You have an elite built-in BS detector. Why? Because when you were 10 years old, nobody was there to cushion your fall. You had to discern reality for yourself. This hyper-independence is your armor. But today, in your 50s and 60s, that same armor is starting to feel incredibly heavy. Part 2, the sandwich generation's breaking point. Fast forward to today, you are caught in what psychologists call the sandwich generation. But for the 1965 to 1972 cohort, this trap is particularly brutal. You are currently holding the weight of the world. On one side, you are caring for your aging baby boomer or silent generation parents. On the other side, you are still financially or emotionally supporting your millennial or Gen Z children. And right in the middle, you are slowly suffocating. You feel a profound sense of exhaustion, don't you? It's not just physical tiredness. It's a deep psychological fatigue. You have spent decades being the reliable one, the one who just gets it done without complaining. But who is taking care of you? This brings us to your deepest, darkest fear. It isn't death. It isn't losing your job. The ultimate fear of an older Gen Xer is losing your independence and becoming a burden. You watched your parents age and you swore to yourself, I will never let anyone have to take care of me like that. This fear drives you. It makes you ignore your own health. It makes you push through the pain. But pushing through is exactly what is causing the internal rust in your system. Part 3, the physical toll and the anti-aging scam, the plot twist. Let's go back to that mirror. The wrinkles, the chronic fatigue, the high blood pressure. Society tells you these are just signs of getting older, and they try to sell you a handful of pills to fix it. Here is the ultimate plot twist. You cannot medicate a psychological burden. Your physical ailments are deeply connected to the fact that you have never allowed yourself to drop the emotional load. When you live in a constant state of hypervigilance, always fixing, always worrying, never asking for help, your body produces a constant stream of cortisol, the stress hormone. Over decades, this doesn't just make you tired, it acts like rust in your cardiovascular pipes. It hardens your arteries, just like it hardened your emotional exterior. The pharmaceutical industry wants to treat you like a broken machine that needs chemical oil. But your body is not a machine. It is a biological garden. And right now, the soil is depleted from 50 years of extreme self-reliance. You don't need another pill. You need a psychological rebellion. You need to reject the lie of aging gracefully and embrace the truth of aging powerfully. The same stubbornness that kept you alive as a latchkey kid is the exact weapon you need to reverse this process. Part 4. Your secret superpower, the rebirth and hope. You are not the forgotten generation. You are the control generation, and it is time to take control back. Your skepticism? Use it to question the traditional medical advice that tells you to just accept chronic pain. Your fierce independence? Use it to finally draw boundaries with the people who drain your energy. You have a superpower that younger generations do not have: resilience. You know how to survive without a safety net. Now, imagine applying that same gritty resilience, not to surviving, but to thriving. Imagine taking all that energy you spend holding everyone else up and directing it toward your own physical and mental rebirth. You can reverse the damage. You can clear the rust from your arteries with real food, intentional movement, and by finally giving yourself permission to put the burden down. You are entering your late 50s and early 60s. This is not the beginning of the end. For a 1965-1972 Gen Xer, this is your renaissance. You survived the analog childhood, you navigated the digital revolution, and now you are going to rewrite the rules of aging. I know you've spent your life being the strong one, but today I am challenging you. I challenge you to look in that mirror again. Look past the lines and see the survivor looking back at you. It is time to discard the old habits that are quietly killing your vitality and resurrect the powerful, independent spirit you were born with. If this resonated with you, if you felt a weight lift just by hearing someone finally understand your generation, then you are in the right place.